have your programming skills right. When I say programming skills right, you don't have to be an expert Pythonist or expert Golang or expert in Ruby. You just have to know your basics right. And all of these basics are coming from your school and college. Everybody has learned a for loop. Everybody can think about logic. So if you can think and write a particular logic, when I say logic, I don't mean hacker rank problems or leak code problems. Those are like competitive programming. When you look at a problem and you can convert that into code, that's good enough. And Git is absolutely essential. And even if you don't know Git at the initial stages, you can learn it as and when you're contributing to a project. And you need to know your way around terminal, how to run a Python program or how to run a Golang program. That is a good place to start with. Always follow the contributor guidelines. When I say contributor guidelines, just like when you join a company, they are going to tell you, you have to write code in certain format. Similarly, in open source, people are going to tell you that you have to write code in a certain format. You have to abide to that. And it takes insane amount of patience and effort. I'm not gonna lie to you saying it's very easy and stuff like that. It's difficult, but it's totally worth it. In the recent era, all of this was 2 years back. So I went around and asked people what open source meant to them in the last 2 years. How has it helped them evolve? And open source has been like this uncovered territory especially for Indian developers, and it's slowly being distributed to us. And it's this uncharted window of opportunity. For example, people have contributed to open source, and immediately the moment your code goes in, you get this visibility that you never thought you would get. Your LinkedIn will be filled with job postings or consulting opportunities, stuff like that. And that also depends on the project, but it's totally worth it. This is from Sayantika. She contributes a lot to the Python community. Next is from Vilvadipan. He actually used the React community. He has contributed to a lot of React specific projects. And he thinks that open source is a gym that is equivalent to the ones that athletes use. It's your training ground where you can explore what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and work on them. The third one is from UV Panda. This is not a quote per se. You have to go check out his open source journey altogether. He started as a GSOC member and then GSOC attendee. From there, he went and contributed to Genome project and Jupyter project, and then Binder, and followed by UC Berkeley. So he built his whole life around open source and making contribution to open source. So that is a career trajectory that's still possible.